Hello everyone and welcome to my Let's Play of Minecraft with Better Than Wolves. Better Than Wolves is a mod for Minecraft that does a lot of changes to the game. I think it's pretty fun. I'm going to go ahead and get started here, and as I get things going I will touch on Mistshroud for the name of the setting, large biomes, and here's our seed. As I get things started from the beginning of the run, I'll touch base on a number of details of this. So let's get started. This map is fairly new. I was doing a previous Let's Play using a map I called Mistshroud. Or not Mistshroud, Frostshroud, I should say. And what happened was, let me adjust the volume here. What happened is that unfortunately I had some problems involving lag and frames rate per second and stuff, and I don't know if it's my computer itself or if it's something else, I'm not sure. But basically I had a good deal of problems and I couldn't really do much about it because what happened was a lot of the frame rate problems I was suffering from at the time were partly due to the fact that I had gone and built a lot of my I think animal farms all under the tower at the time. Which caused a number of problems. I think there were just too many entities in the same area or something. I'm not exactly sure. But basically it caused some really frustrating lag problems, which meant I really couldn't do much short of tearing down all the farms and moving them somewhere else, and that would have just been an exercise in frustration. So as a result, I ended that Let's Play and started a new one. Not this one actually, another one in a different map that I hadn't explored really. Because the original Frostshroud Let's Play, I explored quite a bit on that map in advance, so I knew where a lot of things were. I started another icy map, similar to Frostshroud, that I don't have any recordings of now, but it made me realize that I don't think I should really be starting myself in an icy biome or snow biome unless I really want to challenge, because I realized one of the frustrating aspects of it, of starting in a snow biome with this mod, is this mod uses something called hardcore bucket mode, which is basically a way of trying to make the game more strategic by making it so that buckets can pick up blocks of water. Well, they don't actually pick up the block, they draw water from the block, but they don't like remove the source block in the process, so you still have that source block there. And what happens is that red mushroom. What happens is instead you pour basically flowing block water. Normally in the game, basically you have two types of water blocks. You have source blocks, which are those blocks that in vanilla Minecraft you put down, and it's a continuous flow of water. The water blocks that flow away from the source block, those are actually a distinct kind of block, and they're flowing water blocks as opposed to source blocks. And let's see, let's get started here on this. So what happens is that hardcore bucket mode makes it so that basically you pick up and put down flowing water blocks rather than source blocks. What this does, or the reason why this is being done, is because the Better Than Wolves mod does a number of things with mechanical power, and So when doing so, when working with mechanical power, you need mechanical power sources. Things like flowing water or windmills, water wheels for water, and so forth. So in an attempt to make the game more strategic, the mod uses hardcore bucket mode as a means of making it not quite so simple to create water wheels. Because normally you can just place a source block anywhere you want and then use a water wheel, so you can pretty much get power from anywhere, which makes getting power relatively quite easy. Really easy, actually. So one of the points of hardcore bucket mode was to make it so that it's a bit more challenging, that you have to make use of controlling water flow, later on using things like pumps to take flowing water and increase its level or elevation using pumps, these kinds of things. So the total result of all of this is some interesting strategy, and it makes higher elevation water sources much more useful to the game because you just can't place a bucket anywhere of water. So it does a lot to make the game more strategic. Well, unfortunately, what happens in snowy biomes is the problem of ice. In order to prevent abuse by simply mining ice and then melting it, turning it into a new source block, Better Than Wolves changed the ice blocks so they turn into flowing water, not source block water. So as a result, when ice melts, it just flows down and doesn't form any new water sources. And as you can see, a bunch of logs just dropped when I chopped just one with an axe. That's another mod I'm using right now called Timber. One of the few other mods I'm using in conjunction with Better Than Wolves. This is nice. This mod's nice because it helps save some time in terms of collecting wood. And I just kind of find it frustrating. It's kind of nice, or frustrating in the standard vanilla Minecraft, chopping down every block of some of those really large trees, so it's easier to just do that. And that's all Timber does, basically. It takes it so that when you chop down wood, all the connected logs above it collapse downward, like a tree falling over, which in some ways is a bit more realistic. But right now I'm mostly focused on collecting wood so I can put down some saplings early on. So as I was saying, I discovered over time playing the ice biome kind of a frustration because a lot of the water blocks would simply be frozen ice. So as a result, it was much harder to find a decent water source because bodies of water that would in another biome be just, a lake would be completely frozen over and would be no good because they'd be solid ice. So I found that kind of being a problem. You also have to guard your water sources because if you make a mistake like exposing it to the open sky in a snow biome, the result is it will freeze over and you'll lose your water source. So that all kind of sucks. So as a result, that and the fact realizing that snow kept covering everything in a snow biome, which is kind of obvious, but ultimately I decided to begin again in a non-snow biome because I was just kind of, I was constantly clearing away snow from an area that I'm trying to work, so I decided it wasn't as enjoyable as just working in a more standard biome. So these changes not only make playing in a normal biome more challenging, but they also make, and more strategic, but it also makes playing in a snow biome much more challenging. Better Than Wolves has a number of changes and tweaks to the game. I'll try to touch base on them as they kind of come up, and I will go ahead and finish kind of laying down some reeds here so I can kind of get a impromptu reed farm going. Better Than Wolves is probably most famous for its addition of mechanical power use. Let's see which time. The sun is looks like it's kind of setting. I gotta find some coal in the shelter. Better Than Wolves is probably most famous for its addition of mechanical power. In some sense, this is comparable to the way Redstone functions in the sense that you have a power source and then you relay power down a system of transmission of energy. So in Redstone you have redstone torches and I'm gonna need food too. No. Okay. Me rambling again. Where is the coal? Yeah, that was dumb. Coal over here, maybe? So, like Redstone in that respect, mechanical power has, power sources and means of transmission and then receiving objects that do things. Oh, there's the coal. So, like, for example, with Redstone, you have a power source, a redstone torch, a means of transmission, which is redstone wiring, and then a receiving object, such as, say, a piston, for example, or a door of some kind. Okay, we've got some wood here. Make some torches. No. Likewise, mechanical power has some similarities in that respect. In that, likewise you have power sources. In this case, you have, in early game, you have hand crank, which is, basically you using your physical might to crank and give mechanical power to things like, mostly to the millstone, which is used for grinding materials down. And as the game progresses, you have windmills and eventually watermills. Each kind of with their own prerequisites to creating, of course, as items, and each of them offer different advantages. The windmill is the first non-hand power source you can get. Requires a good deal of a new material in game called a hemp, which is, it's been used for centuries to make rope, and in this case makes sail material for the windmill sails. But you'll see that more in detail as we go along. I need to make me some weapons to defend myself while I'm talking. And eventually you get watermills, and watermills require their own set of things, mostly that you'll be able to make more finely cut wood using a saw, which is another item this game has. But as I said, I'll get more into detail on those as we go along. And yes, I hear you, zombie. So I think I will take a break here and kind of hide out in here for the night, probably. Sort of. Maybe mine. Probably mine. So I will be back in a little while.